or group or club.
Yeah. So that has been the history of golf. Now it's in Kenya, just actually everywhere, right? But as time has gone by, more and more people have become interested. Actually, back in the day, golf never used to be played by women. It was an only men's sport. But as you know, civilization and modernization came through. Women started playing golf, and then, as I was explaining, how now it has evolved is it stopped to be an elitist sport. Because now the clubs have opened up, right?
They're actually clubs.
So 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it will not be easy for you to just walk into any club and say that you'd want to become a member. You'd have to fill many forms and get introduced by someone already who's a member, a proposer, a second, and all that. Nowadays, they have eased some of those requirements. You don't need to be a member, and that is part of how we are able to do this program. You don't need to be a member at that location where we train. So you first just come, first of all, learn how to play, and then once you're interested, then you can get to decide, should I become a member here or can I choose membership elsewhere? And then the other thing that makes golf a bit sort of like look elitist is because you need equipment. Right, and the equipment is quite.
Those clubs are expensive, huh?
Yeah, it's not very expensive. It's affordable. It's affordable.
Right?
Because if you look at the budget, you can get a kit for anything between 30,000 all the way to 300,000. Just depends on what your price is. So
fun.
So
okay.
So it just depends on like where we would want to.
Because you don't just buy it to a single club. You buy a kit.
You have to get a set.
The
maximum clubs in a set are 14 clubs.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it has to be 14. Can be less than 14, but 14 is the maximum. So our program doesn't require for you to own the set. So first come experience. Sometimes you might even come learn how to play, and then you just find out this is not my thing.
So who
you don't have to have done that very hefty investment. So first come learn and then decide. And then decide.
It's true. So who are the top guys right now in the country, man? Who's the main? Who's the Tiger Woods of Kenya?
We have several. I don't know whether I could mention any names as such, but the best amateur so far that is known is Michael Karanga. He's really good. And then in terms of the pros, they are the pros that play the Kenya Open. So we have Daniel Nduva, we have Greg Snow, Riz Charania, quite a number. We have Jacob Okello, Indiza. So those are just some of the top pros in Kenya. Right. That's nice. And it's a growing sport in terms of that level also. So more and more young talent is coming up. We saw the brothers Mutahi Kibugu and his brother. They're also coming up. So it's a growing sport in terms of that level of elite players and also beginner levels, right? So we've been able to introduce quite a number of people through the 7 years that we've been doing the program to join even different clubs once they've learned how to play. So the sport is growing from bottom up.
Very scary word, but that's good.
I'm actually seeing quite a few young people, like younger than us, 12, 13, playing the sports. And there was one competition where this guy came in with his grandpa. Whooped every single person. I've never seen golfers so pissed off. Everyone was leaving the club. They were just there like, you know what, I'm done.
Like, was he really young?
Yeah, he was 12, and everyone else was like 45, 50. And he was just like getting the lowest scores. I think that's what you aim for. Yeah. And it reached a point where literally I just saw this old man just get, and it just like threw his golf club.
That's so cool.
And he walked out and is like, I can't play with his kids. And I'm like, someone got whooped.
It's one of those sports that can really frustrate you. We usually say golf is respect of no person, right? No matter how old, how young, how moneyed or not moneyed you are, it's about how you hit that golf.
What's the top tournament right now in Kenya?
It's the Kenya Open.
It's the Kenya Open,
it's the Kenya Open. It's in the European tour. So it's one of the
wow.
So one of the tournaments every year. So every year, this coming year in 2025, they're going to play it, I think, at Muthaiga in February.
There was one that just passed at Muthaiga. That was the...
So there are usually like a lot of tournaments and qualifiers. Like right now, they're just about to start a qualifier for the Kenya Open called the Safari Tour. So that one is played by the top pros, and then there's like a cutoff and some scores that they have to attain before they get a cut before they get an entry to the Kenya Open.
And there's something you actually mentioned some time back. How many people actually qualify to do this training? Because you were talking about it earlier, and anyone can teach you how to play golf, but like qualified golf trainers in Kenya, how many do we have in the country? Because I believe there are few or something.
So there are no few as such, right? So in terms of the total number of pros, so a pro is, when you mention a pro in golf, is like a level that they get to. I usually tell people it's like saying a black belt in
karate or something.
Yeah, so they're really, really good in terms of how they play. And then now they could be very good players. And so like, let me just give you an example. Like in the developed countries, you have playing pros and teaching pros.
Okay.
Right? So where the playing pros now play the tours, and then the teaching pros are dedicated to, teaching golf, right? So here it's usually like it's cuts across, right? Like you find that a playing pro at the same time is a teaching pro. So that is where the problem usually comes, because they are not able to dedicate their time in either of the two, right? So the best, teaching pros are quite few. They're like less than 5, right?
Imagine.
Yeah, less than 5 dedicated teaching pros who are PGA certified. Right, so all the other pros are good in terms of how they play and all that, and can actually teach you good golf. But it makes sometimes a difference when you are a TOT. Okay, you've been trained to teach, right? Instead of like, I'm just teaching you from what I know, the fact that I'm a good player. You could still learn, but best is if you're trained by a certified teaching professional.
Okay.
Now let me come into the business part, the networking part. So if you come in as a new person, now you've been told, okay, this is a networking gig. How do you group people? Because I could be selling, say, sugar, and you're selling shoes, you're selling boxing gear. We're not going to help each other. So how do you know who needs to be with who in these golf games?
So in golf, we usually say networking is not instant coffee, right? Like the fact that I have met you today does not mean that automatically I would exchange business with you tomorrow. But you're selling shoes. I don't have the need for shoes today. Next time I know someone who needs shoes, I already have someone I can refer them to, right? Or if I myself will need, I know someone already who I can easily go to. So for like our program, how it works is within these 8 weeks that these guys are training together every Friday or Saturday or Sunday, because we have different groups for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're seeing Kev in class every Friday. Right, for the 8 weeks, and maybe Kev will hit a good shot or a bad shot, and then a conversation will strike, and you'll want to know what Kev does and all that, right? And we also make that very intentional during our first sessions, so where people introduce each other, and you can get to know what the other people are doing. And then now, specifically, how now it comes to when you're playing, you play as a maximum of 4 people, and it will take you about 4.5 hours for you to finish a round of 18 holes. Within those 4 hours, as you hit your golf ball and you're walking towards your golf ball, naturally you will strike a conversation. And then that's now where you discover that I'm an engineer, I am in this bank and all that. And then when that opportunity now comes, it could be immediate. Right? I've heard about cases where people started a round, and by the end of that round, they've connected very well, and business happens immediately. Right? If there is a need, right? But sometimes it's as you know that this person is in this industry, and when you now get that need either from yourself or from the people then you already have the people that you can easily connect them to.
I want to go back to the Kenya, to just the sport in itself in the country, right? Is there anything specific that Kenya Golf Union is doing to promote the growth of golf in the grassroots, especially outside of the big cities like Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, and maybe Eldoret? Because I just feel like there isn't enough. There isn't a solid presence of golf as a sport in other major counties. You know what I mean? Like Kisii, Amos, Isiolo.
I wouldn't speak so much about the union. Because I mean, there's the mandate of what they are supposed to do and what they are doing already. What I know for sure is there's the Junior Golf Foundation, right, which is under the union, the Kenya Golf Union, which tries to grow young talent, and they have partnership with like the NCBA Bank. So they have a tour. So there is a partnership with the NCBA Bank, Junior Golf Foundation, and an outfit called the US Kids, where they have tournaments for the juniors like every weekend, right? Like every weekend in different clubs where they try to grow the talent. Right? So from the Kenya Golf Union, what I know specifically is the amateur tournaments. They have a lot of amateur tournaments. So amateur is the level just before pro, right? So they're promoting that so that we can be able to get more pros. And then now with the pro tournament, they have that Safari Tour, which is now the qualifier for the Kenya Open. There could be much more because with golf, it's just about the more you play, the more exposure that you get, the better you get, right? So our pros do not get enough exposure, right? They only are going to play between now and say January, where the tournament is in Feb. With the other pros that are going to compete with them, they've been practicing for across the year with tournaments that have good prizes and all that. So that is just one of those gaps that the Kenya Golf Union, together with the support of the government, will be able to step it up in that way, so that there's more there's more involvement and more competitive players playing and taking that prize at the end.
So I'm sure there's somebody out there listening, somebody young, and you're like, wow, you have always had passion for golf, Where can I find this information? How can I join the group, the networking group that you run, of course? So where can guys get access to stuff, this info? So
for you to become a member of our alumni, so you have a Yen Golf alumni, which has more than 2,000 plus members. These are guys from all the different sectors of the economy that you can think about. Right? So banking, construction, real estate, medicine, legal, all that, right? So once you have gone through the program, that now qualifies you to become a member of the alumni, right? And then now we have the alumni existing in our different WhatsApp group, and we have a community for that. Just on the 2nd of November, we are launching our app. So our app is going to be like a virtual club where people can, interact more and organize games and all that. Right. So that is how you can be able to get into the alumni. For you to now get first of all into the program, you just land on our website. That is yenafrica.net. There's a lot of options that you can choose. You can see our next cohort. Every month we recruit a cohort. The cohort starts either at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month. The next one is just starting this weekend. For that young person that is listening and they probably don't have the cash yet and they want to see, can I save up for it? I would like to invite them to come this weekend, either on Friday, Saturday or Sunday, for our first free session. So the session, if you come on this only this particular weekend, right? Only on Friday, Saturday or Sunday at Windsor at 2 p.m. exactly. We'll give you one free session for 1 hour, just to expose you, to just tell you about golf and where you can start and all that. And then if you're interested, now you coming from a point of information, this how much I need, and this how I can save up for it if I don't have it immediately, and this is how much I can pay if I want to pay to start immediately, and also the different payment options and all that. So if they're available this coming weekend, either on Friday, Saturday or Sunday at 2 p.m. just come and experience, no cost on their end. The information also can be gotten from our Instagram pages, yen.golf, yen.africa. We have 2 Instagram pages, yen.golf and yen.africa. On Facebook, we're Young Entrepreneurs Network Africa. And then on X, we are Yen Africa, at Yen Africa.
During the whole program, I mean, in the course of the program, all the skills that you're teaching guys, is it just about golf? I mean, there's also like business, like life skills. What does it entail?
So it's about golf. On the course, it's about golf, right? So you're learning the different techniques of golf, right? And then as you're doing that, the networking just happens organically and naturally, right? So, and then every month or once in a while. So first of all, every month we have tournaments, and then every quarter we have a meet and greet networking cocktail. Like the next one is also on the 2nd, when we're launching that up on the 2nd of November at the Glee Hotel. Right? Nice, so it's a networking dinner where now the guys that we've trained will come and from different cohorts interact. Let's get to know what JP is doing, what Steph is doing, exchange cards, just interact socially, right? So that's now how the networking comes. And later, at some point, probably it's, from next year, we're going to introduce some programs, just short programs for business, covering different aspects of business, like say digital marketing, finance for non-finance professionals, stuff like that, right? Personal branding, so that now we can be able to grow, the enterprises of this alumni in our network.
Correct. Easy. So guys, remember we're hanging out with Kamau Nyabwengi. He's the founder and CEO of Yen Golf, and we are live on www.spicefm.co.ke. Steph?
No, all of this is just very interesting. What is your youngest ages?
So we have two different programs. We have one for the juniors, 6 to 12 years, and then for
6 to 12 years.
6 to 12 years, right? So that's when you want to start them young, and then for the teenagers, 13 to 17 years. But mostly our main program is for, in as much as it's called it young, it's not young for very young people. It's young for young in business, young at heart,
I like
and young at the sport of golf, right?
I didn't want to come and be playing with a 6-year-old.
No, that's a separate program for the juniors. So the average age is guys in their late 20s and 30s, they're about 40s, thereabouts.
But we're giving an opportunity to be a caddy.
Who? For who?
For me.
So what are some of your success stories, by the way, from this whole networking groups and programs?
We've trained guys that have become really good in the sport. I met one of my former students the other day. He's a handicap 9. Handicap is like how many mistakes you're allowed to make. The highest is 54, the lowest is 0. So he's a handicap 9. Myself, I'm a handicap 17. He's even better than
the master. You played golf for how long, by the way?
For me, I played like 7 years since I started the program. So so I started golf with the program.
Oh, nice. Good stuff.
And I'm not the one who actually trains. We have now the pros. So our pro is called David Opati. He's a teaching professional, right? So he went to South Africa for a few years to learn how to teach, right? And that's how we've been able, because he's dedicated to training only. He plays, but not competitively, right? So that's how we've been able to train the number of 2,000 plus people.
So at this rate, man, what's the future of golf looking like, say in the next 10 years, in terms of, first of all, as a country and just individuals out there? Where do you see us being in world rankings?
So if we continue in this trend in terms of how guys are, especially the young folk, our age, between the ages like late 20s, early 40s, right, getting interested. So we're going to get to grow the pool of people who can play. Right, so the pool of people who can play in terms of the different levels, so beginner level, amateur level. So once we get so many people to be playing, now it's like we're pushing the guys that are at the top to do much better, right? So the level of this, the skill, the competitiveness, right, is going to, of course, go higher, right? And then we're also seeing interest in terms of the number of we have like about 45 golf courses. Maybe right now it's 47 under construction. So there are also new golf courses coming up, right? So we're joking about the other day when we were in Kigali, where you tell someone in Rwanda, so he asks you, so how many, you ask them, how many golf courses do you have? They say 1. How many do you have? They say 45. You feel like they've been
those levels to this thing.
Yeah. And then you go to South Africa and then they ask you, so how many golf courses do you have? They say 45.
Right.
Say, oh no, that is just the number in Johannesburg.
Oh my God.
In the whole country they have more than 500.
Oh my God.
Actually had in SA, like if you rent out an apartment or a block or maybe a homestead, they have a golf course in the background.
Nah.
Yeah, for sure. I had a friend actually show me, like, you know, the golf course
in their yard.
You drive by, it's a golf course, and then you get into your house.
Now imagine the amount of stray balls you'd find. Like, you just come home and your window's broken, your balcony's gone. You're like, oh my gosh.
Let me ask you something, Kamau, and this is a sort of like a political question. You know, by there I've played rugby for a very long time, and I can also I've done a lot of sport conversations. You never hear siasa, you never hear all this geo corruption, what walikula pesa ya tournament when it comes to golf. But hey, rugby, football, sijui athletics, all of these manenos. What do golf guys do different, man? What does the union do different?
I'll not speak so much about the union.
What's the culture around golf that it is just not political? We never hear anything bad.
Let's just say, you know, when you get to know the insides of, you know, the particular sport, there's also it also has its own politics.
I'm sure there is.
Right? It's not only that it's not probably a very popular in terms of the number of people who play. That's how you do not notice, you know, if there might be the small politics here and there, right? So, but that is there. Right? I can tell you that.
So you guys are not perfect.
I can tell you that for sure. But it just maybe it's just a matter of how you know they decide to handle it.
Yeah, like gentlemen. It's a gentleman's sport. That's what they say.
So there's you never hear there's an election of where seats were being
thrown all over the place.
Men in black.
Hit you the golf ball or the club.
Nah, this time they come with a golf ball and like smash up your car and everything. But I do feel like there's this whole stigma that, you know, when you start playing golf, you have to be all high and like Mercedes driving in, Range Rovers. Like, there's this whole, you know, stereotype that you have to be up there. Like, how are you guys handling that for those people who are like, these are, they're not there yet?
That's why we exist. Like, that's why we exist, to bring off to, like, everyone who might be interested to play. For them not to think that they must be members, right? Of a golf club, right? For them to participate in, you know, for them to just first of all learn. And then also they don't need to have bought, you know, the equipment, right? So we bring it down to like anyone who might just be interested. That's why we even open it up like on the weekend. As I've mentioned, we just do first of all a free orientation, just to get people in to learn, right? To and to even come there and see that this is actually doable. Right? Hold that club, hit that golf ball. You might get a really good shot or not, but you'll see that it's actually doable. You don't, and this is the two things that we tried to do, and that's how we've been able to get out there and train a lot of people. First of all, you don't need membership in any club, first of all.
For real, that is so dope. Right?
Many people don't know that.
Many people don't know that. And also, you don't need equipment, right? So all you just need is just for what we require is you need to be in the attire. Any polo t-shirt, any khaki trouser or shorts or cotton material, and any flat shoes. Don't even need the golf shoes, right? So first of all, come and learn. So that's how we've been able to demystify the sport.
What about the women?
Yes, both. Actually, sometimes you have more women than men.
No, like the outfits, because I see people in like mini skirts, and I'm like, okay, is that the advert?
So there's golf skirts, right? So there's golf skirts and tennis skirts.
Yeah.
So the golf skirts are a bit longer, and they're called skirts, right? So they have sort of like a short inside, right? So so that is, and then for the ladies can also wear any khaki or short or trouser. So it doesn't have to be the skirt. But what is mandatory for both is it has to be collared.
Okay.
So either a turtleneck or an actual collar. That is mandatory.
Yeah.
Now, for people like JP whose exercise is walking, how many steps do you get in going around the golf?
By the time you're done with a round of golf or an 18,
that's good.
You have done between 16 to 20,000 steps. Depending on whether you're going straight, you've hit your ball in the fairway, or you're zigzagging and hitting your golf balls everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But that's the average, right? So between 16 to 20,000 steps. In terms of kilometers, you'll have walked between 10 to 13 kilometers, depending on how like the course is built. Some courses are longer, some of them are shorter.
That's
and then also how much calorie you burn depends on now the pace. If you are 4 of you, which is the maximum, of course you will walk a bit slower, and then you can also just play as 3 or 2 of you. So if you're less in number, then you walk faster. So they usually think that golf is a lazy man sport, but if you think about the pace, how many steps you're doing, and how long you're walking, then it's very therapeutic. First of all, it's very good for your health in terms of just your well-being. Some people just say that if I'm stressed, what I would want to do just to go and hit golf balls there in the forest.
Me usually say, Kwanza, if you're tired of your friends, you want a new social network, end up go golf course and get better friends, man, who have talk ideas while they're playing golf.
Quality friends.
You know what I mean? Let me ask you something by there. I was so excited when you said how you just started playing golf about 7 years ago, started the whole program 7 years ago as well. That's really good stuff. So ideally, you're also telling us there is no specific age for starting golf. You can start at any time, even if you're in your 50s, in your 60s. I mean, you can always learn and have a good time.
The oldest person, actually just the other day, right now we're in cohort 70. We're recruiting for cohort 79, just like about 2-3 cohorts ago, like cohort 76 or about. There is a certain mzee who came. I think he's 64.
No way.
Yeah,
that's my dad's age, bro. That's dope.
He's 64 years, and this is when he's learning to play.
And he's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well now that he's retired. He doesn't have a lot of other things to do. Every time we just see him there practicing, right? So it's never too late, right? It's never too late. And it's of course never too early. The good age to start, that's why you have that junior program, is around 6 years, because then they can be well instructed.
Yeah, it's true.
Below that age, maybe 5 they could, but below that age, maybe 4 or 3, just playing.
So they have like little clubs,
They have, so depending on the height,
they look
so depending on the height.
They look really cute,
Hey, I'm gonna take my toy there, man. That would be so dope. Let me ask you, me, I believe. Go ahead.
Kids.
Yes,
really
I can imagine.
In terms of discipline,
patience,
and just etiquette, how to deal with people, their confidence. It really boosts their esteem.
I usually say sports builds character.
Exactly.
What's the one thing that you've learned about yourself from playing golf?
That I can come back even when things are not working. And that is how golf is sometimes.
Okay.
Right? You might get a bad shot, but this is how you react to the second shot, right? Because the first shot could be really bad. Could just hit the ball, maybe you did whatever wrong, you hit it just over there. But the next shot, you recover. And it does not matter. So the fact you might be with someone else who hits the fairway. You zigzag probably, but at the end of that hole, probably you are at the green, on the green by, let's say, 3 shots each. Your first shot was bad, your second shot was better, and the third shot was good. Your first shot was better, but at the end of the day, whichever means you're where? On the green on 3 shots. He does 2 parts, I do 1 part. irrespective of my first bar shot I've taken and I've won, I've done that hole better.
Yeah.
So golf has a lot of life lessons.
Exactly.
Where it's not about like it's about your like how you react to situations.
Right.
So it's not about what happens, to you. It's about how you react and make the best out of what you have at hand.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So there's something that we like to do with all the guests. We'd like to take them down memory lane, figure out what was that song for you back when, in your teen years, in your 20s, that used to just like get you moving, get you going, the happy song, the sad song, the one that you always used to replay all the time.
I have this one, and I have a story to it. Back when I was in campus, I ran for office.
That's what's up.
In the student, and then at some point things didn't go well. Long story, but I had to step down, and that day I was not feeling like let me just go and blow off some steam where we used to go. And I remember the song that I danced to the most was I don't know its name up to now, but
you know the artist though.
Cause you're better than
JP, what's that one?
You're the best at getting songs when someone hums, Kev. Come on, I thought you'd get it by now.
You'll get it.
Oh, that's Beanie Man.
Beanie Man, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if you have
Yeah.
I used to tell you that you're hotter than the rest. If I'm not wrong. Okay, so what's the name of the song? Yeah, it starts like that.
Oh, yeah, I think I know the one you're saying. Okay, so pretty much, so you're a fan of Beanie Man now, yeah? I'm at that specific song. Okay, so I'm going to hook you up with some Beanie Man. Thanks a lot for coming through, Kamau, man.
It's amazing.
We've learned a lot, man.
Thank you very much for
get your chill vibes. Easy. Good stuff, man. So guys, if you're just joining us, remember that's Kamau Nyabwengi. He's the founder and CEO of Yen Golf. And if you're excited about learning golf, networking, getting out there and just, expanding your terrain in terms of knowledge, be a shara nini, Kamau is your guy, man. Contact information.
You can reach me on Kamau Nyabwengi on Instagram. Kamau Nyabwengi. On LinkedIn, same Kamau Nyabwengi. If you want to call. Number 0740-205-991. So that's the office line.
Good stuff, man.
Be able to reach me on that.
Easy. Right. Thanks a lot for coming through, my brother.
Great.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much for the time. Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome.
Right.
All right. So
and you're all invited for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
We're going, man.
For real. Jeez. At the Windsor, man. Kwanzaa Windsor is such a dope area, man. Such a dope hotel.
Wind in your hair, the club in your hands. You just picture that one person that's annoyed you that whole week. Just hit them. Jeez. I mean, the ball.
You're good with kickboxing. You're sorted.
Choose your sport wisely.
Hey, yo. Conversations are still ongoing. When we come back, the one and only Derek Gaku is in the building. He's the head of innovation, Payless. And we're talking all things unlocking $1 trillion opportunities in payments, e-commerce, and the creator economy in just a bit. Kamau Lisama is a guy for Beanie Man. I got something for you. Girl them Sugar and Maya. 20 Kazi, it's 8 minutes after 8.
All right.
94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi. Go!
Some very nice, mature music.
It really took me back to my days, and I